Man, I've seen people bitch about this thing so much online. On one hand, it's understandable. It's been like 500 days or something since the last official Nintendo Direct. Of course, there were minis, third-party showcases, but not a full dedicated Nintendo Direct. My original plan was to go through everything announced, but I didn't realize how much stuff was actually covered here. I'm only going to talk about the important stuff or announcements that I actually have something to say on. I'll also say that I had zero expectations going in, so I actually kind of enjoyed this Direct overall. So it started off with a Smash reveal, and they picked possibly my least favorite choice. I guess it's nice to throw Xenoblade fans a bone, but it's literally another anime sword fighter. I already bought the pass because of Minecraft Steve got me on board, so I guess I'll just complete Classic Mode with her or something and never use her again. The stage does look pretty neat, but for a non-Xenoblade fan, this thing just dragged on. It's funny how the one thing I was looking forward to completely faltered in my eyes. Next up, Fall Guys is coming to the Switch. It's still a somewhat popular game, I think, but it's not my thing too much. I actually did buy it on Steam during the winter sale, and I haven't touched it yet. I think it will sell pretty well on the Switch like Among Us did, and it's just a great third-party game to have on the platform. The next thing that caught at least a tiny bit of my attention was the fact that Legend of Mana was getting a remake. In general, I'm not much of a fan of JRPGs or an anime kind of person, but this Direct was full of anime shit. The next thing is the big daddy, Monster Hunter Rise. This is going to sell a lot of units in Japan, but I'm actually not too big on Monster Hunter, but this definitely looks pretty neat and I may pick it up. I fiddled around with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate or whatever it was on the 3DS, but maybe a Switch entry can finally get me on board. Right after Monster Hunter Rise was Mario Golf Super Rush. I'm a decent fan of Mario sports games, but damn, I wish this was Strikers instead. Mario Circus Charge and Wii was fantastic. My brother actually bought Mario Golf on the Nintendo 64 recently, so we've been getting into that a bit. I'll probably buy this at launch because, like I said before, I can usually count on a Mario sports game to be a good time. It does look kind of standard, dare I say, but I'm sure it'll be pretty fun. I've never played No More Heroes, but ever since 1 and 2 came to the Switch, I've been tempted. I'm saying this because No More Heroes 3 was announced for Switch right after Mario Golf. I don't have too much to say on this one, other than it piques my interest, and I won't be surprised if I get all three eventually. A couple of games after that was the dumbass DC Girl game. I don't know what the hell this is, but I appreciate that the one building fell down just like a tree. That is how I'm going to imagine how buildings fall from now on. The next one did get me a bit upset too. They announced Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. Just release the original Plants vs. Zombies, damn it! It's a masterpiece and probably would have sold better and been easier to port. Quick boys, we're running out of Wii U games to port. Let's move on to the 3DS and price it at $50. This gets a pass from me. Also, the Barn Good line made me sad. Directly after the 3DS port, which I think was Miitopia, they showed off Mario items coming to Animal Crossing on February 25th. I'm all for this. It'll get me to play Animal Crossing for a bit again. The Warp Pipe is especially cool. Then they talked about Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, and this was the tie into the Animal Crossing getting Mario items, but I stupidly thought it was an announcement for a new Mario game. Boy, was I disappointed with what happened next. They showed off the sequel to Octopath Traveler, and it has a far worse name. It's called Project Triangle Strategy. It says it's a working title, and it would probably be a smart idea to change the name. Star Wars Heroes was announced, which, cool I guess. The next game looked somewhat interesting to me, but the weird characters were annoying as shit. I wish they would have just showed gameplay of it. It's that weird dodgeball one called Knockout City. I'll definitely keep an eye on it. Then we got Hades Physical Edition, and I'm here for that. I bought it on Steam and haven't touched it yet. This is the first game that I've bought based purely off of recommendations and reviews since 2018's God of War. I was not interested in it at all, but God of War's kicked ass, and I'm sure Hades will too. It's always neat when a planned digital game gets a physical copy. This damn game won Game of the Year from so many outlets, I hope it lives up to that massive hype. After that, Ninja Gaiden Master Collection also looked pretty cool. I may have to pick that up too. Age of Calamity got a season pass. I don't know Age of Calamity, so this doesn't do shit for me. Bravely Default 2 and smaller games were shown off that didn't really do too much for me either. But the Age of Calamity Pass wasn't all the Zelda goodness. They announced Skyward Sword HD, which I may get. It is a full-fledged $60 game, which was expected even though it's an HD uplift of a fucking decade-old game. I've never played it before, and it's a nice excuse to, but I could also buy a digital copy on the Wii U for only $20. The character models are also ugly as shit. I'll have to think about it. I'll probably grab those damn Joy-Cons though. The Master Sword and Shield patterns are so nerdy and I love that. Too bad there wasn't any Breath of the Wild 2 news, but hey, at least there's some Zelda goodness. Isn't it unfortunate when their one more thing isn't exactly your thing? Well, that happened to me here. I never really gave Splatoon a chance because the art style is so damn ugly. I just hated the way the Inklings look. Not to mention, I'm also just kind of burned out on shooters in general. Then the Direct ended with this announcement. Splatoon is more than deserving of being that last one thing now. Only 2 entries in, and it's absolutely one of Nintendo's biggest IPs. To say that this was a big deal in the world of gaming is an understatement. Keeping in mind that I skipped a bunch of shit I don't care about, there was a lot in this Direct. Even though I could label a lot of it not for me, I can't put this among the worst Directs ever. there were some real stinkers that only got like 1 or 2 big announcements. This was easily a better Direct than what a lot of people are saying, at least in my opinion. There are a bit more ports and anime than I would have liked, and that one more thing wasn't for me. But I'm still probably going to buy 4 or 5 games from here. I'm definitely buying Mario Golf, the physical edition of Hades, but there are a lot of maybes in there. I may get Fall Guys if that has a physical edition, Skyward Sword HD, No More Heroes 3, Monster Hunter Rise, Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, and not to mention those sweet Joy-Cons. I'd personally say this was in the very least an above average Direct, but I guess with a 550-day gap or whatever it is, people were just simply expecting more.